In my last analysis, I talked about one of the most neglected parts of the Portal experience, the atmosphere. Firstly, thanks for the support on the video. I gained subscribers for the first time since September of last year. The video is crushing my average view count and has gotten comments that have really nice words in them. Seriously, thank you. I saw the video views ramping up on Orthodox Christmas and it felt like a present. This video took a lot of work and I'm glad that you liked it. But today, we will be diving into the realms of the Portal soundtrack to see the most intriguing, the most unseen, and the most forgotten aspect of Portal 1, the soundtrack. Before actually diving into the tracks themselves, we need to analyze what point do the songs even serve in the game itself. When playing the game, while not even thinking about them, you might hear a few songs, but not a lot. That is because they're pretty low volume. There is a perk to that. The songs go with the atmosphere. I mentioned that in my last video. They're not made to be in the center of the game, or your center of attention. They are just a backbone to the atmosphere, and they are just a side thing. There is one thing that I see being overlooked with these tracks, and that is their name. They are named after phrases and events from the game itself. That makes the OST more rounded and more connected to the player, and it makes it more memorable. Here are some examples. These songs are not played in a certain order, and they vary in their recognizability and importance. Every track is important, but some tracks are just more important than the others. A big thing about these songs is that they are not just some background music throughout the game, but they are played in really key moments. The main examples are the energetic songs, You Can't Escape, 4000 Degrees Kelvin, and You're Not a Good Person, that play in action-packed sequences, and the very atmospheric and melancholic songs Party Escort and Stop What Are You Doing, that play in very unusual moments, mostly when something groundbreaking is discovered. Now, I will play the footage of these songs and really pay attention to the vibes that these songs give out, and then we'll analyze the OST track by track. You'll see what I'm talking about. Roll the footage.
Congratulations, the test is now over. All Aperture technologies remain safely operational up to 4000 degrees Kelvin. Rest assured that there is absolutely no chance of a dangerous equipment malfunction prior to your victory candescence. Thank you for participating in this Aperture Science computer-aided enrichment activity. Goodbye.
Deadly neurotoxin, so get comfortable while I warm up the neurotoxin emitters. Oh, that core may have had some ancillary responsibilities. I can't shut off the turret defenses. Oh well, if you want my advice, you should just lie down in front of a rocket. Trust me, it'll be a lot less painful than the neurotoxin.
This is the most important part of the video. We will go over every single track from the Portal soundtrack in great detail. Every song inside the Portal game has its purpose and is used to its fullest potential. Some may be overlooked, some may be instant classics, but no track will be left unanalyzed in this video. The first track we'll be talking about is called Subject Name Here, composed by Kelly Bailey, a musician that is most known for his work at Valve until his departure from the company in 2011. This song is not the first song that you'll hear in the game, even if it takes the first place in the soundtrack, and as I said, the song's place in the soundtrack does not affect its moment of playing. It is filled with alternating noises of high-pitched beeps. For me, this song makes me recall the times I felt really calm but confused about the situation. This song is played when the player gets the orange portion of the portal gun in the 11th chamber. and it really fits that moment.
Testing environment. In dangerous testing environments, the Enrichment Center promises to always provide useful advice. For instance, the floor here will kill you. Try to avoid it. The device has been modified so that it can now manufacture 2 linked portals at once.
You feel blessed, really happy that you got that, but confused because you don't surely know what to do with it. It is one of the shorter tracks, being just under 2 minutes in length, and I think I know why. You get the consciousness about the use of the second portion of the portal gun really quickly, and the moment is passed sometimes before the song is even finished. Taste of Blood, composed by Kelly Bailey, is one of the first tracks you will hear in the game. When you obtain the blue part of the portal gun in Chamber 02, the track is played and it gives you the first hints of something being off, the feeling of something not being right.
And teeth. Very good.
This song sounds like some type of ascension, like something that's going forwards or upwards. It's building up to something, but it suddenly stops, just like life. The track features really light, but really dark tones as well, and in the end it slowly fades away. It is kinda like motivation for something. You get the big burst of it, it builds up, but somehow you lose all of it, and slowly forget the times when you had it. Maybe it is linked to the portal gun. You get a burst of motivation to use it, but over time you forget about that moment, and it kinda becomes a normal habit. Android Hell is a really underrated song in my opinion, and I think it deserves a lot more praise than some of the other tracks. It is composed by Kelly Bailey once again, and it is played in multiple occasions, the first time in the 13th, and for the second time in the 18th chamber. This track feels really floaty, like it is soaring through the air, and it's pretty similar to Taste of Blood. It feels like it is going somewhere, but it ends up fading away. The track is filled with synth sounds that overlap with each other, and that gives it its distinct sound. It seems to me that this song is not made to be recognizable or ear-catching. It fills the empty spots that the level design can't fill in the game's atmosphere. I have to say that this track is really low volume, and that proves my point even more. The track plays in big puzzle rooms and gives a feeling of something looking too hard, but when you actually try to do it, it ends up being really easy, just like the big rooms in Chamber 13 and 18. This is arguably the most sinister, the most melancholic, and the most creepy song on the soundtrack. Self-Esteem Fund, composed by Kelly Bailey, is the 4th track in the game. It is played twice throughout the game, for the first time in the 10th and for the second time in the 14th chamber. The track is really lamenting, filled with the dark bass and synth noises that complement the game's look and feel.
Or to be more precise, how it does not.
In both occasions, it feels really creepy playing through these chambers if you are paying attention to the song. It reminds you of nostalgic times, like when I'm with somebody I love but I can't recall everything correctly. It's like I'm forgetting. For how sinister this song sounds, it may seem underutilized, but I think it is used just enough to leave an impact on you. I recommend you to walk outside at night while listening to this song. I tried it and it still gives me chills when I think about it. The street was also empty that time, so it made it an even creepier experience. Procedural Jigglebone is the first song that you'll hear when you boot up the game, and it's a great tone setter for the rest of the game. Composed by Kelly Bailey, this track is riddled with synths, which is pretty common for a song on the OST, and it sounds like it is coming from somewhere otherworldly. This track is played throughout Chambers 8, in Chamber 19.
Your official testing record, followed by death. Good luck. Welcome to the final test. When you are done, you will drop the device in the Equipment Recovery Annex.
When you listen to the song with headphones on, you'll notice that the sounds are bouncing from the left earpiece to the right, and I think that was done on purpose. When you open the game, you're pretty confused because you don't really know what to expect from this game, and this song replicates that feeling. It sounds really dark, just like the game itself. It shows no mercy to the casual and the experienced player. This track is one of the more important ones when it comes to the storyline and the game's atmosphere. No Cake for You is the first track in the soundtrack that is composed by Mike Moraski, an American composer known for his audio work at Valve. It is one of the creepier songs in the game, and it is only played once, in the first Ratman Den. I already talked about its influence on the storyline in my last analysis, but now we will talk about the track in the music aspect of things. This track is on the longer side, clocking in just over 4 minutes, and it feels really creepy to listen to. It perfectly describes this feeling inside the Ratman Den, and that is the feeling of hopelessness and loneliness. It starts with some watery synths that are accompanied by bells, and later the track continues in that way and adds some rhythmic radio beeps that are heard all throughout the song. The name of the song is connected to the writings on the wall at the den's entrance, and gives a hint for the future of the game. And that is what you're not going to get the cake that you are promised. Very chilling track overall, and is a major piece in the puzzle of Portal and what makes it a psychological experience. The 7th track on the OST is actually the first fast-paced track and an upbeat track. It is called 4000 Degrees Kelvin and it is composed by Kelly Bailey. This song is the shortest song on the album because it is used in only one short moment, and that is when GLaDOS tries to incinerate you in Chamber 19. That event is the biggest plot twist in the game, and this track perfectly encapsulates the chaos that is happening. The song's name is a direct quote of GLaDOS' short speech before she tries to incinerate you, where she says that the fire is 4000 degrees Kelvin in temperature. Some songs can be used in only one occasion in the game, and this song belongs to that category. It's dramatic and filled with beeps that alternate at a very fast pace, which can only fit into the incineration event. Stop What Are You Doing is a very dark track with a consistent rhythm inside it. It is played during the escape sequence in its pretty low volume. Composed by Mike Moraski, this track is very ambiental and creepy, and it fits the behind the scenes area really well. It is on the longer side, being exactly 4 minutes long, and it's very repetitive. Some muddy bounces can be heard as they are part of the consistent rhythm that can be heard throughout the whole song. I think this song is a bit underutilized and that it's pretty underrated in the OST. I rarely see anybody mention something about this song, and it's pretty interesting when it's like that. You feel more rewarded when you listen to the song, and even when you notice it in the background, you'll feel the same. This song is the most underrated song in the game. It is not an in-your-face song or a song that is trying to stand out. It is just a filler song that sounds heavenly, and it's like it's from another world. Composed by Mike Moraski, Party Escort is pretty low-key, that is on the longer side of the OST, being just under 4.5 minutes long. The track is really low volume, and it seems like that because it blends in with the atmosphere of the game super well. It's played in only one occasion, when you encounter the rocket turret for the very first time. That is a really special moment because you look deeper into the Portal franchise. This is one of the only 2 appearances from the Rocketeer, the second one being in the GLaDOS fight. It is very soft, filled with synths, which are used basically almost on every track. You're Not a Good Person is another track that is composed by Mike Moraski, and it is a very fast-paced song. It's kinda similar to 4000 Degrees Kelvin because both tracks sound like they use the same percussion set throughout the song. It is short but longer than 1 minute, and it plays in the big turret room before the GLaDOS boss fight. This song is nothing special in my opinion. It keeps the same beat all the way through, and the melody in the background makes the song less and less intense the longer it plays. I know it's for only 1 moment, but I think both 4000 Degrees Kelvin and this track can be swapped and interchanged with each other because of their similarity. This may be the only time I say this, but I feel that this track is unnecessary, but it still does its job pretty well. It captures that feeling of being surprised and being forced to think quickly. This song is the only song that has a comma in its name, and it's the longest song in the tracklist, being over 6 minutes long. It is composed by Mike Moraski, and it's played only once, and that being in the GLaDOS fight. It is filled with very loud noises and a very abrasive beat. A very intense track could be a perfect explanation of the track because it has the same intensity the whole time. Even though GLaDOS gives you plenty of time to fight her, the song can be a bit of an obstacle itself because of its intensity, and it could trick you that the time is ticking faster than it should be ticking normally. Many people might not even hear the entire song because they defeated GLaDOS too quickly and not notice the very abrupt end of the song, which comes out of nowhere. This song is a great one to end off the soundtrack, but wait, there's one more song.
This was a triumph.
Probably the most famous song in the whole game, Still Alive, is the last song on the tracklist, and it is played at the very end of the game, in the credits scene. When I heard the song for the first time, after my completion of the game, I was confused because the game was dark, ambiental and creepy, but the ending song is really cheerful and happy. The track is sung by Ellen McLean in the voice of GLaDOS, because she is the voice actor of GLaDOS, and that makes the game feel complete. If the game was finished on a darker note, you would probably feel a bit confused, but not that shocked because it fits the game. But if it finishes like this, it feels like you reached a happy ending, even though no bad ending exists here. Also, this song has its own remix, which is done by JC, the writer of the original song. It is never played in game, and it is a fun little bonus track.
This was a triumph. I'm making a note here, huge success. It's hard to overstate my satisfaction.
By dissecting every single song from the soundtrack, we can safely say that the Portal OST is one of the best video game soundtracks of all time. Every song has a purpose and no song is left unused, apart from the bonus remix. And the game wouldn't feel complete without the music. The emotions of the main character, Chell, are shown through the music as she can't really talk. And the game's atmosphere is a direct successor to the soundtrack. A lot of people underestimate the power of music in video games, but this shouldn't be much unseen as it is now, and I'm trying to make a change by making this video. It is truly a masterpiece. My personal song rankings are this. I divided it into 3 categories: amazing, good, and bad, and let me know in the comments how would you rank these songs. Thank you for watching this analysis, as it means a lot to me. If you haven't seen my first analysis about the atmosphere of Portal, click the card in the top right corner to watch it. Comment down below your ideas for future videos, and if there is something that should be fixed about my video, I'm open to all criticism. Like the video if you enjoyed, but if you want to support me more, click the subscribe button or share the video, it would help me a lot. Check the links in the description, and I hope you and I will link up in a different video. Traps is gone.